Oh, okay. Misi Pie, defensive lineman, hasn't played a lot of football. Just an incredibly explosive guy. Plays rugby, and then and from New Zealand originally, but just a big, strong, fit-looking guy who I think's really got a good future. Calvin Jackson, of course, his dad played for the Miami Dolphins for years. Fast, skilled receiver. Blake McDonald, big, strong, nasty offensive lineman who I think is going to get stronger and better. Tyrese Ross, I coached his father, Dominic, at Valdosta State. Very explosive DB, plays extremely hard. Has lived in Jacksonville, Florida, and is in Atlanta now. So,
do you guys feel like you filled every need that you're hoping to fill?
Well, it's the best class we've had since I've been here. I think it's a good class. We're excited about it. We're excited about the chance to have the opportunity to coach these guys. I think it's a pretty complete class as far as the positions, and then again, size and speed. I think we've done a pretty good job of covering that.
You guys looking at all to add a quarterback?
We might, yeah. We deliberately held a couple scholarships back because we'll see what'll surface from there.
Now that you've been through the first year of early day and second day signing period, what are your thoughts on the new format?
I'm kind of still sorting it out. I mean, but I think I like it actually. I think I like the early signing period. The one thing that's most difficult is literally the day the season's over. I mean, a bunch of fatigued coaches are hitting the road full speed. So, I don't have entirely the best way to do it. I thought it worked out pretty well, and I'll tell you the other thing for rule changes, which typically rule changes are horrible ideas. They're busy work as people are trying to legitimize their positions on these committees and things because, let's be honest, the committees are very boring. And so then, we need to act like we're doing something. And so typically these rules are lousy or temporary. I think this one really went remarkably seamless, all things considered, because you're talking about a pretty far-reaching rule that encompasses a lot of things, but I thought it really did go quite smoothly, and smoother than I thought it would, too.
And you were also in the process of hiring new coaches. How does that affect kind of how you were recruiting?
Yeah, it really doesn't, I mean, you just plug away and recruit, and I think our philosophy and our play and the building of our team is pretty solidly documented, and so then I think really we're selling the same things. So, I think a lot of times, a specific side of the ball and just general philosophy of the team and the town, the community, the school, I think figures in. And then, and nowadays things are more volatile than they've ever been. Individual coaches are going to come and go, and I think that's just a reality that exists with this,
Kind of going off that, do you think there is any awkwardness to, like a lot of the coaching changes that happen in late December or January, to have the kids that are already signed with that extra signing period in December?
No more than usual. I mean, is there some? Yeah, probably, maybe, but I mean, it's kind of a nonstop. It goes on anyway. So, and is there any more then than February? Probably not.
Is there a position that you feel you really got stronger on? I know for your system you need a lot of wide receivers.
I thought it was a pretty balanced class, to be honest with you. Well, I thought D-line, we helped ourselves D-line. I'd say probably D-line the most. I mean, we got to find out. I think definitely we got some real quality O-line guys, and I always think that's huge,
How beneficial has it been to have a few of these guys on campus, Max and Cameron and Roderick so far, and getting some early weightlifting sessions with you guys and kind of learning the playbook a little earlier than the other guys?
I think it's really good, and I think the three guys pair up pretty well. So I think it helps. It helps everybody adjust to the newness of being on campus for the first time. But you got some pretty enthusiastic guys that are going to be great players. I think it's extremely beneficial. The only time it's not beneficial is if a guy in the back of his mind is going to wish that he finished out his senior year and all the activities and stuff that go along with that. Then they're better off staying. But all these guys were, they were ready to go probably before they were allowed to. So I think that worked out pretty good.
Cam Cooper's a guy that a lot of people are excited about. What have you seen from him just in the short time you've seen him here?
Real hard worker, smart, continuing to grow, inordinately fast for a guy built like him. Just a very alert, on top of a committed player. So and it's explosive too.
Max kind of kept you in suspense there for a couple of days during the early signing period. Borgie, what are your thoughts on him, and what were those 2 days like?
Well, I like him a lot. I mean, he's a very personable guy. He's a very smart, very personable guy, and I think that the 2 days were just a matter of just constant communication. It came down to us in Stanford. And so, between us and Stanford, we just had to talk about what we both had to offer and that type of thing. And Max really liked the setting here. He really liked the environment here. The campus and the closeness that exists. And so, I think honestly in the end, you'd have to ask him, but I felt like the chemistry that everybody had was one of the big factors.
Any questions on the line for Coach Leach?
Hey, Mike, it's Coach. So Max also talked about how much of a relationship he had with Coach Mastro. I mean, after Coach Mastro left, did you kind of sit him down and see if he was okay or talk to him or anything like that?
Well, he also had a relationship. Yeah, I mean, we did talk all the time about a ton of subjects, and coaches throughout our staff do. I think, because we are very open door as far as the staff. And I do think that, that he likes Coach Mastro, but in particular, he likes what we do offensively and how we've been able to utilize the backs, because our backs have led the conference in yards for the most part recently, and so he liked. But then also, I think he had some very close relationships with other people in the class. So I think all that kind of worked together.
Coach Dillon from Kookan. Blake McDonald, big guy, decommits from UCLA. Physically, it seems like he could come in and compete right away, but obviously has to learn the trade, the tools of the trade on the O-line. What do you think about Blake?
I think he's a very talented guy that, like every O-lineman, I mean, logging a bunch of time in the weight room is going to be very key to that. And then O-line is one of the most technical positions on the field, and I think that, he just has to get acclimated and consistent with that. But we're excited to have him and looking forward to working with him.
Thank you. Lost 4 assistant coaches this offseason, including Clay McGuire now. I mean, what do you sort of have to do to try and ensure that you don't lose any of the momentum that you guys had built up over the last 4 or 5 years?
Just hire new quality coaches. I mean, that's kind of what we've done from the beginning, and still haven't broken stride as far as improvement. What we've improved every year, I felt like. So, just hire other really good quality people. And there's a lot of them out there too. So,
Coach, what are your initial thoughts on Clay leaving for Texas Tech? I mean, is it kind of you hate to see coaches leave, but I mean, it's taken off to his alma mater.
Well, he's got to sort that himself. I mean, I think he's got to sort that himself. I mean, he has to figure out if it's a good decision. I mean, from his standpoint, he's going back home, but then also they're on thin ice around there, and if you fall through the ice, well, then you're leaving home pretty quick too, probably. So, I just wish him the best of luck.
questions on the line for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, when you look at a guy like Missy, I mean, he's kind of raw, but what do you guys see in him as far as potential to play, and how does he kind of project for you?
He runs real well for a guy his size. He's really explosive. The thing is just continue to develop him, and because athletically, he's really good. I mean, our biggest role is to get him as familiar as quickly as we can with football and the techniques and things that we want him to do. Because athletically, he does a lot of things already there. We just got to teach him the game.
Hey, Coach, Lolo, he already taking advantage of the weight room and the early access to the program. He's apparently shed 10 pounds with Jason and the strength and conditioning program. I mean, how important is it for him to get early? And obviously, you guys set out to find someone to replace Daniel on the D-line.
Well, it's important they get in shape. I mean, they got to get in great shape, and some of what Daniel did took a couple of years, and we're going to have to get this done faster. So, yeah, I mean, just well, especially those offensive linemen and defensive linemen, we need them in the weight room as dedicated as quickly and as long and fast as we can. All those things.
Anything else on the line?
Like with Master gone and you guys haven't hired a replacement yet, was there a lot of extra work for people on the recruiting trail the last month or so?
I didn't hear the first part of what you asked.
Oh, with Coach Master gone, was there a lot of extra work that you guys had to kind of make up for in the recruiting trail because you were down a man?
No, not really, because first of all, we'd signed 20. He was only recruiting one guy anyway, so we were in good shape there.
Anything in the room for Coach?
Now with your new class signed, what are you guys going to be looking ahead to improve on for spring ball?
I would say really everything overall. I think we've got to find a couple offensive linemen, find and develop a couple offensive linemen. Same thing with the defensive line. We've got all the receivers back, so we need to continue to elevate them. We got most of our backs back, that played significantly, even though we lost Jamal. We got, 3 real quality guys to work with. Quarterback, we need to see where we're at there and then develop them as fast as we can. Secondary is a lot like the receivers. I feel like we lost a couple guys, but we have a lot of people back, and we'll be better at linebacker than I think we were last year overall.
Do you have any memorable stories or coaching or recruiting Tyrese's dad at Valdosta State?
Yeah, I'll tell you, he was a one-track guy. I always thought about football and was always kind of a goal-oriented, achievement-oriented, and confident. And he has a deep, deep, deep voice that just commanded attention. But he was the kind of guy that once in a while, if he didn't block anybody, he'd find a way to score anyway. Cut it back or just blow people up. And a good combination of speed and power. I always had a really good relationship with him, just liked him a lot. And I remember one time, one was academically to get a class, but 2 was because we thought it was, he was a kind of a thick guy, and so we wanted to lean him up. He wasn't heavy. As far as, it was all muscle weight, but and muscle weight to the point where you'd think he'd maybe sink to the bottom. So we put him in the swimming class, and Dominic would be out there swimming about a mile a day, several times a week, and came back out of that thing in really good shape. And, the first thing he asked is, do you have these guys swimming? And, yeah, we'll think about it. Worked good for Dominique, though, and he wasn't the first guy that would come to mind as far as swimming because he is so rocked up, you just visualized him going in the pool and just going straight down. No, but he'd be in there slugging away. And it was an outdoor pool, too. It was in South Georgia, so, you'd go outside, and there's an outdoor pool right next to our facility.
Is this the first time you've signed a kid of a player that you coached?
Well, Woods is like I coached Cassidy Woods' uncle. I don't know. Maybe.
Let's go back to the phone line.
Hey, Coach, what was it like kind of catching up with your former player at Valdosta State, Tyrese Ross's dad? I mean, it must have been pretty cool.
Oh, it's great. I talked to him on the phone some, and had over the years. But the funny thing is, he hadn't changed a lot. He's still in great shape and still looks the same, talks the same. He's aged well. So I mean, and if he hadn't used up his eligibility, we would let Dominique Ross on the team too. But sadly, we can't. But no, it's good to hear his voice, and it's a distinct voice. If he calls you, there's no question who's on the phone.
And then you just kind of shifting focus real quick here. You talked about the back that you have back. He's kind of a guy that was lost in the shuffle because of his injury. But I mean, people need to remember how productive he was for you his redshirt freshman year. How excited are you for Keith to finally maybe get his shot this season?
Well, Keith is a former starting running back around here, and Keith was one of our best special teams players last year. So I think there's probably a little more of the same.
Anything else for Coach? Back in the room.
Hey, Mike, I know you've sort of changed your schedule around because of what happened with Tyler. When do you anticipate starting midnight maneuvers, and do you anticipate that this will make spring ball go any later?
No, it won't adjust the schedule at all. We'll do something I've thought about in the past. The very best time to have maneuvers would be the first week, but all the coaches are on the road. The first week of when people come back. We're going to do it right before spring break, so we'll do maneuvers before spring break. Then we'll do the week after, midweek after spring break, we'll start spring ball, just like we always do.